Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Divine Journey. So, since the last episode, I have been busy. I've been busy across this bridge, and you can actually probably start seeing some stuff coming into vision here. This isn't done. This is something I'm working on. I haven't even done the exterior at all yet. But basically, I wanted to kind of spruce up this area, so I did start working in here a little bit. And of course, this magnet torch, it's not going to stay here, but I had this here when I was working, and I haven't moved it. And then I haven't ran black steel. The stuff's a little bit expensive. Each block of this is 8 iron and an ink sac. So, long term, once we get a quarry up and going, I'm going to finish this out, but the black steel, I just did this front part for right now. And I did put dark glass on this, and I actually kind of have to remove the stuff to get inside there whenever I get ore berries, but that's fine. I just kind of want to get this somewhat presentable down through here. And we have limestone slab ceilings up there. And then if we head up, we have, our ore berries over here, and we have ore berries over here. And it's strange because light shines through there, even though light shouldn't shine through there, unless it's coming through the slab. I don't know, I've got to go through with facades. It doesn't really matter what kind of facades for the most part, because none of that's going to be visible long term, just short term. And then if we head upstairs, I haven't got all this stuff done yet, but I did add aluminum into this area. And then over here, I added all the berry types. Now, there's not actually a use at all for the nether berries. I was looking at those. There is zero use for them, but I did decide to go ahead and plant them just because. Honestly, the berries over here is going to be plenty for berry medley for Runes of Spring, so I needed something else to go in here, and so I was like, whatever. We're going to put nether berries into this one. So anyways, we got all of those planted. And then if we pop down... you want to see where I spent most of my time? Not over here, but... if we come on across, and we go down here, and I haven't actually finished the pathing and stuff like that for this area, but if we look up here, there's something up here. This is where I spent most of my time. It was a ton of living wood, ton of great wood, and then a bunch of paper as well. A lot of great wood, a lot of living wood, a lot of sakura saplings, or sakura, which I did. Oh, by the way, I'll show you this real quick. I did plant sakura and eucalyptus, so that has been gathering wood. And it's strange because sometimes these slabs, I've noticed, like, this is sakura, this shows a silver bell, this shows a sakura, this shows a silver bell. It's all sakura wood, but it's just whenever I place the slabs on the upper section here, it tags them as silver bell. It's really, really weird. But anyways, this is what I've been working on, and this is kind of somewhat of a throwback to Infotech, honestly. I think Infotech was the last time I built anything kind of pseudo-Japanese style. But anyways, I did go through and I cleaned with the bottoms of this too. It's all just sakura, just kind of to hide everything. And this is what it looks like from the exterior. And we do have a beacon. I made a beacon and put it up there just for looks. So, a lot of this building is just for looks. But we're going to have our fissures inside of here. I'll show you the inside of it. But it is, for the most part, done. I still have to do a little bit of decor on the inside, like do some Decorative type stuff and whatnot. But anyways, we can walk around on the outside of this, and this is all carpenter's ladders with great wood. So great wood planks on this, great wood logs for all the framing, and I think the view here is really good. That's why I decided to do something a little bit larger like this. And then back here we have kind of like a little bathhouse area, so I can bathe in this this little pool. So, and I figure long term, maybe, once we get into Thaumcraft, we'll need a bath area, so maybe this will be where we wash off flux once we get into Thaumcraft. But anyways, let's go on and walk around the building here, and then we'll pop inside. Hey! I'm going to throw that stuff on the edge because I don't want it. Okay, so then if we pop inside, I have these nice shoji doors here. And we can come inside, and there's statues and stuff. So we'll go over, I guess we'll go over the statues first. We have Displacer, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off. We'll make it a little bit more cinematic as we go through here. So we have Displacer set up here with some titanium swords. And then over here, we have B. Ruxita. And they are actually rocking demonic lightning scepters. So, and I thought it looked kind of cool. I thought it kind of matched. So I was like, okay, you're getting these. And then over here, we have Yar Gamafrag, which I love this skin, by the way. And this is more like, I think Lycanites has some of the coolest looking stuff for statues. So we have Venom Shot Scepters and Poison Ray Scepter. I do quite like that. And then over here, last but not least, we have Laugh Elephant. And I actually gave him Mana Steel equipment because I thought it looked cool with his skin. So Mana Steel Sword, Mana Steel Pick. And then over here we actually have a Travel Anchor, and I'll show you what that's for. But if you look inside of here, we have kind of like a decorative area, which we will be adding fissures to this. And then up through here, which all of this stuff is just decorative. There's no real way to like get up here. I just wanted like decorative type balconies up here. And then I figure I'm going to go through Decorative. I pretty much spent the whole time building this, and I haven't actually started decorating it. But if you take a look at Decorative, I mean, there's like 7 pages here of stuff I have to go through. So I will add some small little decorations. I don't want anything too distracting on the walls, but some small little things I'm going to add to that. And then we can see up into that floor above us. It's all glass floor. So, and then if I want to get up there, I do have a travel anchor right here. So we can go up here. And it's just kind of like a little cozy place. So, but yeah, if we pop on back down here, and I will say that our house, when I get around to building our house, I'm thinking of similar theme, I guess. Not the same structure, not remotely the same in design, but the same kind of theme to our housing area, which I will probably start that very, very soon, because it's actually going to be over there near the Botania area is where our house is going to be. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm very, 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 very happy with this so far. I think it looks cool. So this is our fancy bathhouse, basically just to cross through here to our bath area. So, and it's also going to have our fissures in it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But I got started building, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be great. So we may do some other stuff with it, maybe on those upper floors, we'll see. But for right now, as far as planned purposes, it is mainly for our fissures, and then for our bathing needs, I guess you could say. And then I still have to do a bunch of work on the exterior. I'm planning on having the pathway kind of wrap up the mountain. It's going to come through here, and it's going to go up to this section and then around to this. So you kind of take the long way around it. And then I'm planning on putting a big sakura tree out front and some little things like that, and do kind of like a little, almost like a little Zen garden type setup. So anyways, I ordered right before this episode started. I imagine it should all be done by now. But I ordered a few things. Uh-oh. Looks like my reactor shut off again. Let me toggle that. It doesn't happen very often. This is only the 3rd time that it's happened. But we've got plenty of Yellorium. There we go. It's kicking back on. Okay. So let's pop in here. And hopefully this stuff is done. Yes. Okay. We have 4 Tesseracts. And we have... Are these done? Yes. 4 fissures. Okay. And we're going to be using the fissure from Mine Factory Reloaded. Now, I've got 4 Tesseracts. And the reason being is because I don't want to mar this build. And if I was to put cabling, because I would have to bring the cabling up from the fissure. There's no other way around it. And if I brought the cabling up, well, then I've got a problem, because I've got these cables hanging out everywhere. I don't need a column right here. And I want the water just like this. You know, right below the mana glass, and then have the fissure right there. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to set our fissures down, just right in these little slots here. Just like that. And I think the Tesseracts will look okay sitting on top of these. It'll look won't look nearly as bad as cables do. These have to extract from the top, so I think if we put tesseracts around like that, I think that looks okay. Now, long term, once we change over to Thaumcraft Golems, I will probably end up just removing this entirely and having the golems like maybe out here fishing. Maybe put like a little pond or something like that, and have the golems fishing. But I think the tesseracts look much better than cables would. And you can't really see the MFR fisher, and that's what I wanted because the thing's not a pretty sight. It's kind of obtrusive, and I wanted that out of sight. So what we're going to do, and let's actually remove this for just a minute. If you look inside the fisher, there is a slot for a fishing pole. There's also energy, work, idle, you know, standard stuff. And basically, the fisher, you can put it in as small of a water source as like a 3x3, if I recall correctly. But the larger the water source, the better the work ratio is. So you're gonna get fish a lot faster. The larger water source you have, up to a 5x5. And I think normally the fisher is like 1600 or 1700 work or something like that for like a 3x3. 5x5 is only 1400. So setting them up like this, it's a bit more efficient. Now, in addition, if you have multiple fishers attached to a single water source, the work is going to go up exponentially. Like, for example, if you put down 2 fishers on the same water source, like say I put another one like, I don't know, right over here, for example. Now, because they don't have to be in the center of the water source, they just have to be touching the water source, like directly above it. Now, if I put another fisher, like say right here, then both of these fishers would take like 2,000 and something work, and so on. So you want to have as few fishers per water setup as you can. So that's why I have this wall dividing them. Oh, it's raining. And then it's not. Anyways, and the slot here for the fishing pole, it doesn't actually have to have a fishing pole. It will fish without a fishing pole. I'm not going to personally put fishing poles in them, and the reason is that if a fisher fishes up a fishing pole, then it will start using that one. And through my testing, I noticed that the fishers tend to get, on occasion, they'll get a pretty decent fishing pole with maybe like luck 3 and of the seas 2 and stuff like that. You know, it'll get its own fishing poles. So I'm going to leave them just no fishing pole. They can fish on their own until they get a fishing pole, then they'll equip it, and all will be right with the world. So what we're going to do is we'll set up our tesseracts, and we're going to set these to mob farm temp set frequency, and we're going to say that you can send items. There's not going to be any fluids, and you can receive energy. And we'll go ahead and set all of these up like that. So there we go. Now our tesseracts are all set up, and all 4 of our fishers should be running, which means that we're going to get fish, we're going to get pufferfish, we're going to get salmon, we're going to get enchanted books, we're going to get water bottles, we're going to get fishing rods, we're going to get plastic bags, we're going to get all that just assorted stuff from these. And it's very minimal power cost as well. It's like, I mean, it's only like 20 RF a tick or something like that. I mean, it's not very much to run those. So the fish, once we start getting those, they should, I think, come into here is where they're going to get dropped off. Ooh, cast head. Take that. Let me pop down here and put this into here. Okay. That's my head collection. We're going to be building a trophy room soon. Like trophy and armor room. Because I have a really cool idea for that in the war district. The District of War. Oh, and I also added a couple more of these because we were just about out of molecular assembler slots. So, anyways, now that our fishers are running, oh yeah, let me chunk load those because otherwise it's not even going to be running. Let me do that real quick. And over here, there's also going to be farms and stuff like that. I will say I did not get the nether wart farm set up. I was wanting to, but I did not get to that yet. Let's see, we've got, oh, that worked out perfectly. That's like the center of this. So if we did like, you know, maybe like a 3x3, and put our dimensional anchor down. Put it down right there, and we're going to say 3 by 3 square. Okay. By the way, these are aquatonic bricks. These are just aqua balls with stone bricks. I did automate aqua balls because we're going to need those for water runes anyways. So we've already covered these, talked about them, and all that good stuff. So, and let's actually pop down here and take a look. Yeah, see, the fisher just got something, which means probably all the other fishers are getting things as well. It doesn't take too long. Now we'll say initially when we're waiting on this, we might be waiting on pufferfish and stuff like that for a few minutes before we can make our runes of the sea. But that's fine because, I mean, this is, oh look, pufferfish and plastic bag. Plastic bag is pretty much junk. You can smelt it and get plastic, and I don't think there's really anything else to do with it. Okay, so let me grab that. Let me grab this salmon and this pufferfish. And I guess all of our fish, I'm just going to go ahead and put them into drawers. We'll do like here and here, and then we'll also get the clownfish and the raw fish. And we're going to be doing something with the raw fish. I was actually looking through NEI, and really the only use for raw fish is turning it into fish jerky, and then of course from there into runes of water. So I don't think there's anything else that we're going to need fish for. I mean, there's the walrus from extra sales. Polynesia charm, we're only going to need that like a couple times. Mainly just to make the devil's tongue charm. So, I mean, that's witchery. That's a little bit later on. If worse comes to worse, I can always fish up a fish. Or actually just do it with alchemy. Through Botania would work as well. But yeah, so pretty much just making fish jerky. So we're just going to have all of our fish that come into the system. They'll go over and they'll get turned into fish jerky. And then our plastic bags. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have these set up in a storage bus. We'll just say plastic bags go here. And then, let's see, which of these go straight to smelting? Cyan. It's whatever the draconium comes from. So right here, we're going to say plastic bags go straight through here. Okay, and then they'll just get pumped over, they'll get smelted, and they'll make raw plastic. So that way we just don't have them piling up. At least can do something with them. I've got to empty all these potions. I need to get the potion area connected up with this, because I'm going to have these sent over to the potion area. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, so anyways, while that's building up, because we're going to be waiting a little bit for fish to build up, and so that we can make fish jerky to make our runes of the sea. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and get started with that first. If we take a look at our runes, there's 3 more basic runes that we need to make. Rune of water, mana powder, mana steel, that stuff's easy. Bone meal bag, easy. Reed block, easy. Aqua balls, already automated. Pufferfish, fish jerky. And then the rest of this is all easy. So really, I mean, that's really all the automation is. Put up a fisher, and then we'll cover the fish jerky once we have some fish to actually turn into jerky. So let's go ahead and start with the Rune of Earth. This one is super, super simple to do. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is, let's get seeds, and we're going to make a quick recipe for wheat seed bags, because we do need that. And we'll just encode it. There we go. And then we're also going to need double compressed dirt. So there's compressed dirt. We'll just encode that, and then we'll teach it, place it. Okay, there we go. There's, oh, I ordered some more of these, so. There is double compressed dirt. And I'm just going to have it compacted inside of the AE system. There's not a whole lot of reason to set up a compacting drawer, I don't think. I think that's really like the only recipe that uses that, from what I recall. So, we're also going to need mushroom stew. And I'm going to teach you how to make bowls real quick. So we'll just teach it this recipe, there's a bowl, and then we'll teach it mushroom stew. I mean, most everything for the Rune of Earth is really just like this. Just laying out a couple of recipes and it's done. So, okay, we're going to need Earth Inscription Tool, and then it's just block of coal, endstone / twilight stone, frozen stone, any of that stuff. Okay, so let's get some mana powder. And we will be automating the mana stuff today too, because we're going to do that whenever we automate the rune of mana. We're also going to need a vine, which we have 512 of those. We are going to want a wheat seed bag, a piece of double compressed dirt, and we'll take a piece of frozen stone, and then what else? Oh, let's go ahead and get our, let's see, how do you make the earth inscription tool? Is it fire, icy, gusty, earthen core? That's it. Let's go ahead and order that. And then I think that's, is that it? Oh yeah, we're going to need mushroom stew. So let me get one of these. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and order a couple more of these cores. Oh wait, it's busy. I need to put more blood orbs in there. Because right now, if I have something ordered, then it's already locked up that orb for, you know, whatever it's crafting. Let me go ahead and add some blood to this, because that could be an issue for us today. I've actually moved from using the mossy pie to just straight up using hearts when I add blood in. Okay, so our earthen core is done. I'm going to go ahead and order like 2 more of those and get those ordered so that we've got them on hand for, you know, in case we need them or something like that. And we'll just put this into there. Let's go ahead and get our inscription tool. There we go. And I'll just put this back. Okay, so let's head on over here. And we should be able to set up our recipe and get our first runes of earth. So let's make a recipe. Let's say processing. And if you take mushroom stew, frozen stone, mana powder, mana steel, vine, wheat seed bag, double compressed dirt, coal, and elemental inscription tool for earth. And then we'll just put these things into here. And there we go. Start crafting for me. So our rune of air, our rune of earth is done. 2 of those. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into the pattern and say that's how you get 2 runes of earth. And we'll encode. So that'll complete a quest. Let's go ahead and open this up and let's turn in our rune of earth quest. So we get 3 diamonds from that. Okay. So then from there, rune of water is the next thing. And the runes of mana. I would like to get these 5 runes done today, and then we'll probably do spring as well. I would like to get rune of spring set up. I will say we're probably not going to fully automate it just yet, but we will later on. Okay, we've got a clownfish, a tripwire hook, plastic sheets, okay, rubber saplings, which I can only assume came from fishing. So I'm going to put the clownfish in there for now. I'll tell you what, all this salmon, let's go ahead and grab it. Salmon or salmon, whichever you prefer to say. I tend to flip-flop back and forth like at random, so if you hear me say both of them, that's why. But anyways, let's go ahead and we're just going to turn these into fish so we can kind of get a jump start on our fish. So, alchemy catalyst. And we'll just set this up, we'll set it up right here for right now. And then what we can do is we can take all of our salmon, drop it in, turns into clownfish, drop it in, turns into pufferfish, raw fish. Easy as pie. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab this. We need to get a permanent place set up for that. Like we definitely do. Okay, so now that we have raw fish, we pop over here. And let me put it into a drawer so it has a place to go whenever we start actually fishing some up. And then what we're going to do, let's see, where do I want to put this at? Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's get a chest. We'll just take a diamond chest, that's fine. And then I want an export bus. Just one of these. Or no, I don't want an export bus. I want a interface. Yeah, we'll take an interface. And we'll grab one of those. And then let me order some conduits. And then I'm also going to want 2 basic filters. That will be fine. And actually I don't want this chest at all, so never mind. I just want the interface. And then we're also going to want some drying racks. I'm going to go with, I think, 3 of them will be good. So let's just get 3 of these. Because honestly, after a day, I mean, this stuff's going to be... We're going to have so much of it that it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, we'll have plenty on hand. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to pop over here. We're going to put it in the automation building. It's one of those things, like, it doesn't really have a place because it's so just, like, you just stick it on the wall and let them dry, more or less. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have it setting... Let me actually get one more drying rack, because otherwise it's going to bug me. We're going to do 4, which will be fine. I mean, there's really not any use for fish outside of just drying them out and turning them into jerky, so that'll be fine. It's going to be way more, like after a while, it's going to be way more than what we need, but that's fine. Okay, so there we go, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put our interface, let's see, that's 8 channels, that's 12 of 32, 28 of 32 in total. Okay, so it's this line right here that's not using full channels. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this over. Let me see, where is the floor right below these? Actually, I could bring it up through here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have our interface setting like right here. And then we'll have our Fluix cable come out and come down and then just plug into this line, okay? And then what we'll do is, let me go ahead and put some of this fish on the drying racks like that. And what we'll do is we're going to tell this interface to keep... Where are we getting all these fish from? Did the system already have fish in it? Watch me already have a place that they're being stored. Yeah, we've got a bunch of raw fish. 25 of it, in fact. In the system. Aha, right here. Okay, well now it's got potions of healing. Whatever. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to store the potions of healing there. And I'm going to put a void upgrade. Because these things, I have so many of these things. And they're just piling up. And I have no use for them at all. So let's just do that. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and do full storage upgrades. I mean, I guess the nice thing is we'll never have to worry about making these potions for our automation. Like, it'll just be made. So there you go. There's a void upgrade. Okay. But anyways, we've got a bunch of fish. So I'm not going to worry about storing too many in the interface because it's only going to be able to process 4 at a time. And it's going to take quite a while. It's 300 seconds? I think it's like 5 minutes. So 10 fish, that'll be fine. We'll go ahead and just dump that stuff into the system. Okay, now I'm just waiting for... Let me actually grab one of these fish because we're going to need it for doing our filters here. But what we're going to do is we're going to set an item conduit connected onto this interface. We're going to set it to in and out. And insert, we're going to say it's brown channel. Extract is on green, always active, with a filter, raw fish. Okay? And then insert's going to have a filter. And once this is done, we're going to put our fish jerky into that. So, and then what we'll do is we'll just attach item conduits onto these. Looking beautiful, right? And we're going to set each of these to in on green, extract on brown, always active. And then in on green, out on brown, always active. And you can see right now, you can see the dryness. It's at 78, 79, 80%. So it's steadily going up. It just takes, like I said, it takes about 5 minutes. So I'll be back once that's done. Okay, so our first bit of fish jerky is done. Let's go ahead and pull one off real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this into our insert filter. So only allow fish jerky to come into that. And then before we actually plug that up, let me go ahead and just put this into one of our drawers so that we can keep the fish jerky stored in here. And we'll just put this right here. Okay, so then we can start producing fish jerky, and that means that we're just about to get our rune of water. So that's going to be nice. That'll be our 4, the 4 really basic runes will be done. Let's go ahead and break that off, and there we go. Okay, so you'll notice it pulled the fish jerky off of here and has dumped it into our system. So if we look in here, we have 4 fish jerky. And wow, we're up to 37 raw fish. I'm pretty sure the fishers are fishing right now. So, okay, so that part's done. And so if we take a look at our rune of the sea, or rune of water, we are going to need mana powder, mana steel, bone meal bag. And let me make a quick recipe. I don't think we have bone meal bags. Automated, we do not. So let me go ahead and just put that into there. There we go. Now we're also going to need a reed block. So just one of these. We'll go ahead and encode that. Let me grab one. There's our aqua ball, and then oh yeah, elemental inscription tool. So let's get ourselves a core. Which core is it? Is it the gusty core for the rune of water? I mean the icy core? Is that what it is? It is. Okay, it is icy core. Okay, so we got our inscription tool for water, and that should be everything for this. I do believe. So let's make a quick pattern. Let's do, if you take mana steel, mana powder, pufferfish, fish jerky, water inscription tool, reed block, oops, no, just one of those, bone meal bag, aqua ball, and a bucket of water. These material lists are crazy. I love it. Alright. And we'll just put all this stuff into here. And, oh yeah, water bucket. There we go. And there we go. That's made. And if we take a look now, we have 2 runes of water. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this into there, lock it in, and there we go. That is 1 more rune done. And if we take a look here, rune of water, 3 diamonds. Okay. Awesome. So now we can move on to the rune of mana and then the 4 seasons, which I don't think the 4 seasons are too bad. Oh, wow. Okay, rune of autumn, you have to have the metamorphosis, which I'm planning on doing that anyway. Yeah, for 3 pieces of this. It's different metamorphic stone. Easy to automate though. Ghost wood, blood sapling, dark wood. None of those are that bad. And we've got a wicker bundle, which is just 9 saplings. To make that one. Just want to have a quick look here. Rune of summer is sunglasses, burnt quartz, basalt, solarium, hot spike, congealed green slime, and smooth sandstone. Hot spike is, oh god, okay. It's not, I mean, it's not that bad, it's just, it's expensive. And then rune of spring is, this is one that we're going to want to make. It's just 3 flowers: blue orchid, allium, oxeye daisy, eucalyptus sapling, sakura sapling. Those are both automated. That's why I automated those. Then redwood sapling, we can automate that, but it'll be a little bit later before we can. And then berry medley, not too difficult. And then we've got rune of winter, which is snow, ice, packed ice, cyanite block, plutonium block, ice stone, and cake. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to set up our mana pool for automatic, you know, everything mana related. And then, of course, this connection's also going to come over here later and do our Terra Steel for us. Because I think we're going to automate that as soon as we get into terrestrial agglomeration plate. So, but what we're going to do is let's go down right here. And we'll come across. Yep, perfect. This is where I wanted to get to. Okay, so there is our dense cable line. And then let me pop up here. And let's grab it. And we can just grab it with Fluix cable. That's fine. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just run the cable over. And I don't think... Let me say something real quick. I'm curious as to how many recipes... Well, it's hard to say because you can't really tell through this. I mean, a lot of this stuff won't need to be automated. It's hard to tell through this because you can't pull up exactly, you know, just what goes here. Honestly, we're probably going to end up... Let's see. Is this where I want to put it, or do I want to put it... Okay, I tell you what. Actually, I think I want to put it over here. Just because I'm fairly certain we're probably going to need more than one setup. I know there's going to be, like, mana steel, mana string, mana pearl, mana diamond, mana quartz, mana powder. Like, I mean, one interface is pretty much just like instantly filled. Not to mention things like pasture seeds and stuff of that nature. So, yeah, I'm gonna move it and do it over against that wall. Because I think we're gonna eventually probably need like 2, and then we'll need one for alchemy catalyst and probably maybe do a setup with the conjuration catalyst. And I don't want to limit myself to that area. Plus, it would be really clunky if it was over there where the Terra Steel stuff is. So, yeah, we're going to set it up right over here. And let me actually move that. And I'm going to have it come right up through here. Got all these undead coming at me. I had a black plague happen. Which is fine. I mean, everything dies easy enough at this point. Okay, so mana pool, then we're going to have just an interface. Go ahead and grab that. And then I'm also going to want a vacuum chest. I'm going to want a filter. Just a standard one. And then we're also going to want, I guess, like an open crate would be best. Honestly, any of the droppers would work too. Like this dropper, this item dropper. The only thing is the redstone aspect of it. Open crate, of course, is just going to dump the stuff down, which is what I want. So, vacuum chest. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up our mana pool. Actually close off this ground here. Our mana pool is going to set right here. And then right above it, we're going to have an open crate setting. I'll tell you what, let me move this. Let me shift this over, I think. Because I think I want the Fluix cable to come up like that. And then we're going to have the interface setting. Go grab the interface. We're going to have the interface setting right here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and wrench the back of it so it knows to face off in that direction. Kill these guys off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have the open crate just sitting right here. So basically the interface is going to dump its stuff straight into the open crate. And then we're going to have the vacuum chest setting right here. We're going to set the range down to like 2. It's fine. And then we're going to put our filter into there. And what I want to do is, first up, let's make some recipes and get some mana stuff here. Let's go ahead and get mana pearl, mana glass, mana powder, mana steel, mana diamond. Oh, there's also quartz. Let me actually take a look at the rune of mana. What all do we need specifically for that? So we're going to need string, we're going to need mana steel, mana pearl, mana diamond. And I definitely want mana glass on there. So let me take a look. What all... We've got 5 slots in this. So we're going to say you can get mana pearls, mana powder, mana steel, mana diamonds, and I guess I'm just going to go with no mana glass for right now. And we'll do mana string instead for right now. And then when we set up the second one, we can add mana glass to it. That's fine. I mean, granted, you could do a world interaction upgrade with a transfer node and have that collect the items too. But I think I want vacuum chests here. I think is what I want to do. Because world interaction can go on the bottom, but I actually like the way the vacuum chests look. Because we kind of got them set up at each setup. So yeah, we'll do that. Then let's make some patterns. Let's say if you take iron, then you'll get mana steel. Let me order more patterns too. If you take an ender pearl, you'll get a mana pearl. If you take gunpowder, you'll get mana powder. If you take a diamond, you'll get a mana diamond. And then lastly, if you take string, you will get mana infused string. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and teach it one more recipe here. Let me go ahead and grab patterns. So I'm going to teach you a quick recipe and say that if you take mana infused string, you get mana weave cloth. Okay, and then we'll just put this into this interface here. Molecular assembler. There's our mana weave cloth. And then there should be one for the open crate. Yes. And we're going to put that, and that into the open crate. Okay, and so then we just have to get mana over to here, which isn't too much of an issue. What we're going to want is a mana spreader. Go ahead and order one of those. And then I'm also going to want a potency lens, of course. Make sure that our mana gets moved quickly. We're going to need an elemental inscription tool for fire. Okay. So let me order a fire core, which our blood orb is tied up right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready for automatic mana. Just so I can automate this whole like blood altar and everything, like, and quit having to do this. Okay, there is our elemental inscription tool for fire. So now we should be able to order a potency lens, and it shouldn't take terribly long. It is going to have to order a rune, it looks like, which is fine. I've been wanting to see it do that. So if we order potency lens, we should say, and of course buckets are getting stuck and all that mess. Okay, now it's probably ordered the runes. I'm probably not going to make it in time to see it drop them in there, but yeah, there we go. So it is working. Alright, so let's take our mana spreader and our potency lens, and then let me get the wand of the forest, and we're going to set up our mana spreader right here. We'll throw down the potency lens on it, and oh, that's not going to reach the whole way, because if I grab this, yeah, see. Okay, let me get another mana spreader, I guess. And what we're going to do is, for right now, this will be a whole lot easier once we have better spreaders that can, A, move stuff faster, and then B, of course, go longer distances. But for right now, we'll set this here. We're going to put the potency lens on it. We're going to connect it just straight across this gap to the other side. And there we go. It's going to start sending mana, and it's going to start filling up this pool. Because I'd rather not waste any mana if we can avoid it. And then, what's it doing right now? It's making magic callus. I bet it's out of life points. Okay, between episodes, I'm definitely going to fill up this network, because I'm so tired of popping over here. It does take a while to fill up this network, though. Like moss pie and 10 hearts, and you're able to fill this up a lot anyways. So, there we go. That pool's filled, and it's got a fair amount of life points, I think, in here. Let me see. Yeah, 150,000. It's not terrible. Alright, so our mana spreader, it is done. Okay. That's what I want to see. So then if we connect this up, put it right here, for example. And we'll just send the mana across like that. And that's going to take a while to fill. But for example, if I pop in here and I ordered, say, a piece of mana infused string, we should be in the vacuum chest right now. I know there's not enough mana in here. Okay. By the way, what I want to do with the... Oh yeah, you can't do that. Oh my gosh. I keep forgetting we can't do that on this this version. I'm used to the vacuum chest being able to direct it so it pushes items out in a certain direction. We can't do that in 1.7, which is great. So I'll tell you what, let me grab this filter, let me grab the vacuum chest, and what we're going to do is, let's bring this down, and we're going to connect it up like that. We'll put the vacuum chest right here then, the filter in there, and then an item conduit coming up and feeding into that interface, like so. Okay, so right now I can make mana infused string. So let's pop over here. Oh yeah, let me set the range down on this. Oh, it's still down. Alright, so if I was to order a piece of mana infused string, we've got one in the system right now and there's two. Okay? I'm not going to worry about setting it up so that it reads mana levels. I usually don't, because if you have a competent mana system, it's not going to be an issue. Right now it's only an issue because mana hasn't had time to travel down the system and fill this up yet. So I'm going to let this run for a bit, because we can't really progress until we get some mana in this pool, basically. So, and soon, very, very soon, we'll be able to start spark systems, but I don't think we can make like dispersive, dominant, all this stuff takes pixie dust. I'm not going to mess with spark systems until we get those, because there's really no point in it. Aside from making one for the terrestrial agglomeration plate, and then one for the pools that connect to it. Is really the only point in setting one of those up right now, so. But anyways, I will be back in a bit after this is ran and kind of had time to fill up the pool and stuff like that. I may make another potency lens for that mana spreader that's over there as well. So, I will be back in just a bit. Okay, this has had time to kind of fill up on mana, and if we take a quick look real quick, fish, we have 308 fish, 223 fish jerky. So the fishers are working perfectly, and the fish jerky making system is working fine. If we take a look, this mana pool's filled, this one's still filling up, but it's not too far. So what we're going to do is let's look at the stuff that we need for Rune of Mana. So it's 3 blocks of mana steel. Mana pearl, mana diamond, mana weave cloth, and then 3 mana steel. Alright, so let's get 3 of these, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a recipe here and say that if you take mana steel like that, oh, there we go, it's going to make a block of mana steel. And the reason I'm doing that is because, you know, I've got the stuff in compacting drawers, but if we don't have a lot of mana steel in there, it's going to say we're missing a block of mana steel because it doesn't know personally that 9 blocks turns into a block of mana steel. So, we'll do that. Let me order some patterns. Oh wait, I've got some here. Alright. And then let me order mana steel. I need 3 blocks of this. And it just made something. There's our 3 blocks of mana steel. Okay. And then it already knows how to make mana diamond, mana pearl, mana weave cloth, just one of those, and that's it. That's all we need for the recipe. So we're going to do a processing pattern. We're going to say 3 blocks of mana steel, 3 mana steel ingots, 1 mana weave cloth, 1 mana diamond, 1 mana pearl. And then we'll dump this into here. Honestly, this is probably the most expensive rune that we've got being made right now. Just because the amount of mana that goes into it is pretty substantial, I feel like. Though actually, I mean, that didn't do too much damage, this mana pool. And once we have spark system set up, that's going to be no issue at all. It does require a lot of mana, though. It's the slowest crafting, like, I don't know, Rune of Mana is kind of one of those weird ones. It's like the one offset rune. Because it doesn't technically fit into the 4 elements. It doesn't really fit into anywhere. It's kind of its own thing. So, okay. So we should have a rune of mana now. And we do. And that means we can turn in this quest and get a crafty crate. Alright. Another thing that I want to grab right now is the Mana Seer Monocle. Just because it's one of those, like, pretty important things. I've got a golden lasso here. I'm just going to use that. And then we'll get 3 blocks of Mana Steel. There we go. And Mana Seer Monocle. Okay, this is probably the most important accessory you will ever make. And we'll just pop that on. And now we can see the range of flowers. So you can see this, like, silhouette around it tells me how big of an area each flower affects, which will be rather important moving forward. Now, the last thing that I would really like to get up and going this episode requires a Rune of Spring. And to get a Rune of Spring, if we take a look at this, honestly, it's fairly cheap, all in all. Requires Rune of Water, Rune of Fire, Blue Orchid, Allium, Oxeye Daisy, Eucalyptus Sapling, Sakura Sapling, Redwood Sapling, Berry Medley. Okay, these two, we've got plenty of those. Well, I don't know if we've got a lot of them in the system. I've got one in here, but I think... Let me see where it's at on these. I may put like a void upgrade into the wood. Because I know like this one is stuffed because it's full on Sakura wood. But it's filling up these buffers at the moment. I could put like cobblestone here or something. Or like another type of sapling. I'm going to get some oak saplings. And what we're going to do is just switch these out. Let me grab all of that. That. And we'll just put oak into this. And it's already filtered over here to say that only eucalyptus is allowed in. So that's fine. We'll do the same thing on this one. Just pull all of these out. And do that. And then we can dump all these in the system. And we should have plenty of saplings now. Yeah, 82 Sakura, 47 eucalyptus. Alright, so our next objective, I think, is to go out and find a redwood tree. And we're also going to need flowers. I don't know if I want to do... Let's look at something here, because the Rune of Spring is used for Rod of the Terra Firma, Terra Steel Helmet of Revealing, Terra Steel Helmet, the Jade Amaranthus, which will only ever need one of those flowers, I think, unless it's used for something, which I don't think so. And then we've got Falling Canard, which is a flower we won't use a ton of, if at all, really. And then Agri-Carnation. We will use a bit of those. I will say that, but not to the point... Well, no, maybe not, because, I mean, we've got imaginary time blocks and stuff, too. We might use some of them, but in the case of the runes, we're going to get these back, so it doesn't matter if it takes them for making runes. So our uses for Rune of Spring... I want the rune automated, but I don't know if I'm worried about fully automated. Because we could make the flowers with alchemy catalysts. But the thing is, we'd need multiple alchemy catalysts, and it would be a bit of a setup. So what I might do is just, as I'm looking for redwoods, just grab a bit of these flowers, and we'll be set forever. And the same with the redwood saplings. I mean... We can automate it with the RF Tools Builder. It's not a big deal. But is it worth it? I don't know. So now we're just looking for blue orchids, alliums, and a redwood tree. Which redwood tree could take a little bit. I don't think I've got any redwood saplings. I'm fairly certain that I do not. Okay, there is a redwood tree right here. Actually, it didn't take very long at all to find this. But oh, there's another village there. We are only... we're about 1,000 blocks from home, I guess. That doesn't feel very far because flight is so fast, but... Let me go ahead and grab... There's a bunch of the redwood bark. Get out of here. And I'll tell you what, before I finish harvesting this, I would like to put redwood into a drawer. Because there is some places that I would love to use redwood. It's a great looking wood for building and stuff like that. And so I'm probably going to cut down that entire tree, which takes a bit of work. But I would like to have this stuff being stored. We'll go right down here. And we'll just pop in the redwood and the redwood bark into there. Oh, whoops. I just gathered leaves off of it. I forget that this thing has silk touch like every time. And I tell you what, just to make this a little bit easier, let's pop back over here. I'm going to get something like a scythe, maybe. And we probably put fortune on it. Because then, I mean, really, if we put fortune on it, we harvest a redwood like one time, and we're set. So I think what we're going to do is let's make our scythe out of magical wood. It's just enchanted books, bookshelf, gold. And I'm just going to do level 2 books, because I'm not terribly concerned about it. We'll do that. And then just our unbreaking 2 books, because I've got like hundreds of these things. So there is 4 magical wood. Anyways, we'll pop over here. Let's get a... What all do we need for this thing? A scythe head, 2 tool, tough rods, and then a tough pattern. So let's get... There's that. And we get a magical wooden scythe. You can see it has 11 modifiers. That's awesome. And then let's go ahead and put fortune onto it. Fortune 3, looting 3. So we'll just go ahead and add a few of these to that. And it looks like we're sitting on reinforced 7. Okay, and let me get just a couple more of these. Basically, you can just pop them into here and craft them. It's no big deal. I think 2 should do it. I believe so. So there's reinforced IX and reinforced X becomes, if you look under modifiable there, it says unbreakable. So now this thing can never break, and it has fortune, so we'll get extra saplings. And I mean, of course, we can add additional modifiers to this if we so desire. So now we have an unbreakable scythe with lots of fortune. Sadly, this scythe is not working with Vein Miner. There's 3. If I wasn't already here, we would probably make some kind of a magnet. Would be kind of useful, but that's okay. I think we're going to be okay without it. Would you get up out of here? Okay, we're up to 22 redwood saplings. I'm just going to leave that alone for the time being, and I can come back and kind of harvest off of it. But I mean, honestly, that's the thing with the Runes of Spring. I don't foresee us needing more than this, you know. So I think we'll be okay. But I will probably go back there and I'll harvest the rest of that tree. I mean, we've got a ton of redwood. Those things, just kind of something that you harvest on bit by bit. Honestly, once we get an RF Tools builder, I can just rip them down like that. But okay, so we've got that. And then we just need some more of the flowers. 18,000 dandelions. Okay. How many seeds do we have? 1,336 cotton seeds. I'd say we're setting good on those. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we'll just pop right down here. Let's put our alchemy catalyst right there. And we'll go ahead and get all these changed over. This really isn't using all that much mana. Okay, so there's a bit of blue orchids. And what's the other... Is it allium? Yeah, it's allium that we need. Okay, so I'm going to do like half of those over there, and then we'll turn half of these into alliums. And then we've got some oxide daisies. I've got a bunch of those around that I can easily just harvest off of. And it barely used like any mana from this system. I might, if I find that we need more than this, I'll automate it, but I think it's going to be good for like ever. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's first teach it a quick recipe here for berry medley. This right here makes 2. There you go. Okay, because we have thousands of all the berries. Okay, rune of fire. There we go. And I'm going to put this into the pattern real quick. So if you take all 9 of those things, and we come over here and just dump these into this. There we go. It's going to start running, and it's going to start making our rune of spring, which is going to be nice, because that is jaded amaranthus right there, which is something that I've been wanting. Just because that way we don't have to worry about flowers anymore. Like, it's no big deal. So, there we go. Rune of Spring. Haha. And if we open up our quest book, oh yeah, Mana Seer Monocle is done too. We get 6 quartz rods for that. And then Rune of Spring, we get an Ender Overseer. Alright. And honestly, Rune of Pride, this is what we need to get our blood altar, like our automatic blood setup. It just requires fire and summer, which really isn't that bad to make. So possibly next episode we may get our automatic blood setup going, because I would like to have that. Rune of Spring into there, we'll encode it. And how are we doing? We still got enough for 4 recipes. Alright, so I would like to just really quickly get a Jaded Amaranthus up and going. This is Rune of Spring, a Redstone Root, purple, lime, and green. So, purple, Redstone Root, that. There we go. There is our Jaded Amaranthus. And then all we have to do is get this thing set up. And I'm going to actually have this... Okay, we'll come right down here. I can't remember where... Okay, that plugs straight into the system. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to disconnect this connection. I'm going to shut this off for just a minute. And I'm going to disconnect this. We're going to say that you can extract never active. Okay? So it's not going to extract from this vacuum chest. And then what I want to do, I'm going to want this Jaded Amaranthus as a floating, actually. And we'll do that. 2 glowstone. There's our glimmering flower. And then that dirt pasture seed gets us our floating flower. And then we'll get our floating Jaded Amaranthus. Okay. So we're going to set this just right here on top of the vacuum chest. You can see it covers this area perfectly. And it should be... Yeah, see, it's pulling mana right now. It's making flowers. I'm not sure which mana pool it's connected to. It doesn't really matter. It is connected to that one on the left side over there. It's making flowers at a fairly good rate, actually. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing run for just a second. I want all 16 flowers because I'm going to want to set up drawers for these. I'll just dump that into there. That's honestly about to get trashed. Because I think the only thing in here that I really need is the pestle and mortar. Alright, so how's this coming along? We've got... There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It looks like purple is our 16th. Okay, I'm just going to switch these around. So we have all 16 flower colors now. Yeah, I'll just leave that torch there to go in the system whenever I plug that back up. And let me go ahead and just grab the ones that are in here. Just to empty that out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to pop over, we're going to put these into drawers, and then we can plug all that up, have it running, and making flowers for us. And honestly, I mean, this is going to fill up in practically no time. So I guess I'm going to give all of them their own drawer. So we'll just start over here. We'll do flower, 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 that. And what I'll probably end up doing is letting it run for a little while, then just shutting off, because the Jade Amaranthus is one of those things, like, you let it run for, you know, a bit, and you keep it supplied with mana, and you're never going to have to worry about mystical flowers ever again. Like, ever again. Alright, so let me get just a few upgrades. We'll go ahead and do 32 emerald upgrades, just because, and we'll do 16 void upgrades. Jaded Amaranthus, I tend to like having it be manual shut off. And the reason being is because naturally all the flowers aren't going to finish at the same time. So, okay. So we've got 832 stack limit on each of these, and then we'll just go through and hit them all with a void upgrade real quick. Okay, there we go. So that is done. And then let's just go plug this thing in, and we'll have mystical flowers. We'll have mystical flowers out the wazoo. By the way, did we get... Okay, no, there's no quest for Jaded Amaranthus. So that's perfect. Just pop down here. Let me pop it to this little hole here. And we'll say that you can extract always active, and it's going to start pulling out all of these flowers from this. And it is really as simple as that. And then I'm going to go ahead... Actually, I'm going to leave the bone meal stuff turned off for a while, because we have no need for any more of those, at least right now. I mean, if we take a look at seeds here, we've got almost 5,000 wheat seeds. We've got 1,350 cotton seeds. And then I'm going to set up some pattern. I'm going to do some pattern work. I'm going to do this mainly off camera, but I will show you what I'm going to do just really quickly. I'm going to go through and add recipes for all the different flowers. So, for example, let's say blue. Okay, we've got blue, and I'm going to have to put in recipe for petals. Now, in some series in the past, I've had it automatically handled by this system. So there would be like blue flowers, you know, it would craft it into petals, it would craft it into dyes and do all of that and keep it all on hand. I think in this one I'd rather just have it as a recipe so the system can handle it whenever it needs it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say mystical blue flower makes mystical blue petals. We'll encode that. And then we're going to say, let's actually go ahead and grab a couple of these. Then we're going to say that if you take blue petals and a pestle and mortar, that you get floral blue dye. Okay. And I'm going to have to go through and do a bit of recipe work with that because I want to do all the dense cables, all the smart cables, have them all just orderable through the system using those dyes. But anyways, with that, I think it's about wrapping up point for today's episode. Next episode, we'll continue briefly with Botania, and then we'll get our blood magic setup going so that we have automatic blood coming into the altar. And then it'll be time, you know, before long to start looking at automating, like fully automating the blood altar, so that part's done, and oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be very good. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be too much longer before we hit Thaumcraft. We have to get a little bit farther into Botania, but that's no big deal. But of course, we will be taking a break to do Between Lands fairly soon. Now, next episode, we might also go do another boss of the Twilight Forest. I think we'll kind of just hop in there every so often and do a boss. It's kind of like breaking up all the magical stuff that we're doing with a little bit of exploration. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.